So good morning, everyone, and I would like to welcome the panelists. My name is Ewę Lis-Jeżak. I'm the regional director for IDC Poland, which is the international market intelligence company. And we observe the market, we measure it. And of course, one of the top topics today for us is artificial intelligence. Before I let the panelists to introduce themselves, I would like to make a small amendment. During our discussions, we changed a little bit the topic, and I believe that the new topic is much more relevant to what we're going to talk today and what will be really interesting for you. So the topic is responsible AI from A to Z, navigating AI framework, so how we build AI projects, use cases, what it really means in practice, and the ethical frontiers, as it's clearly one of the most important issues today, to build responsible AI projects. So now hand over to Anna.
Welcome, Anna Stepanów from BNP Paribas. I work for our bank as an AI product owner, being responsible for our AI practice. Under my responsibility, AI strategy, governance, frameworks. But what is the most interesting for us and for our teams are developments, implementations. So we are very hands-on when it comes to AI implementations.
I'm Sara Lewandowski, Global Technology Innovation and Gen AI Lead at Bayer. A lot of buzzwords, I know. So in general, I'm looking into emerging technologies with the team, and one of them for sure is AI and Gen AI. Since 2 years now, we are rolling out and democratizing Gen AI at Bayer, and I hope we have some interesting discussions today we can listen to. So thanks for having me, Eva.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure about that. So my name is Agnieszka Jach. I'm a data science senior manager in Accenture Polsce. I like and I build MLOps platforms. So these are platforms that speed up putting models into production. So I think we will talk about it a little bit, maybe not too technical. I like to teach people. I like to learn. And I think it's also worth to mention that I think 6 or 7 years ago, actually I switched my career. I'm a power engineer. So I can show you how to build a power plant, but I decided some time ago to switch to IT, and now I'm into cloud, ML, and AI, of course, and Gen AI, because that's like hot topic right now.
Agnieszka Kociuba-Tomala. I'm IT director. I work at Orange. My main responsibility is transformation of corporate system and strategic vendor management. I'm also co-sponsor of one of the key initiatives within IT, Gen AI for IT. So bundle of initiatives which are focused on how to improve the way how we IT teams are working. So that's glad that I will be able today to share with you a few of examples what we are doing in Orange.
Girona, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Hi to my fellow participants in the panel, and hi to viewers from Lithuania, from Women Go Tech. I am the co-founder of Women Go Tech, and we work with a lot of women who are interested to requalify to technology industry and recently very interested into AI topic and getting skills and knowledge about the AI. Me, myself, I work in hardware tech businesses, but most of the activities, I also spend daily activities at Women Go Tech and various educational programs as well as research. So looking forward to interesting discussions.
So, thank you all. As for some numbers, the European AI market is set for substantial growth. And what we see at IDC is that by 2028, the value of that market in total will be $138 billion. It's a massive market. Of course, AI, consists of 3 AIs, that's AI types. That's what we always underline. So it's been used quite for a few years as so-called ML, machine learning projects, for predictive projects. It's been used for interpretative models, which is again 30% of the market share for AI. And last but not least, that everyone is familiar with, is generative AI that is growing rapidly and is becoming a massive part of the whole AI growth. So we will try to touch today all 3 examples of how AI is being used by organizations. But what is really important is companies seek for AI projects mainly for optimization, to boost the innovation. But there are also a number of barriers that still slow down the projects. And what we again see is that only 13% of projects are actually go to the production. So it's not that easy still to start this over. So to start it, we need a very good framework. I will start with Sara, because you have a very interesting perspective and actually practice on how you build framework at Bayer. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, sure. So I think 2 years ago when Gen AI really came to us, and everyone, I guess, we were thinking about what do we have to consider when making AI and Gen AI available to everyone. Because you mentioned Gen AI now is a game changer in perspective of we are not just talking to a very specific user group, but to more or less everyone in the company, right? So we said we have 4 main pillars which we are looking into, which is, I think the no-brainer is the technology. We need to have a good technology, let it be something we develop in-house, or we also incorporate external third-party tools like Copilot, GitHub Copilot, and other tools, which we strategically choose and say this is something, it shouldn't mushroom across the company, but we really focus on this technology. Then, for sure, we have the value creation. I think we are going to talk about that later probably as well. We don't want to do things which are not valuable. I mean, you can create something like a cooking recipe, but is there a lot of value for our customers, farmers, and patients? Probably not. So what is the real driving value for our mission, health for all, hunger for none, which we should focus on? Then we have our partners, where we have strategic partners, which we decided on to grow together because Bayer at core is not a technology company. So growing together with our strategic partners is something really valuable. And last but not least, which a lot of people underrate, I think, is the human factor. So you really need to bring it to the people. So we build communities inside of Bayer with thousands of people who are collaborating, exchanging, and really driving that. And on top of that, we gave guidelines and rules, which gives everyone like this secure space. Where can I move with which technology, which partner, in what kind of use case, with what kind of people to really make it happen.
And who is orchestrating all of this?
Me and my role together with another colleague, we are leading our Gen AI Catalyst team. We on purpose called it Catalyst team because we believe we want to catalyze the value creation of Gen AI across Bayer. So it is orchestrated there, but nevertheless, it is democratized, right? So it's not like we own it, but there are a lot of people across the company who are working according to the guidelines, who are working on their own use cases, according to the framework we set up.
Okay, Agnieszka, you're also responsible for building frameworks. Would you like to add anything to what Sara said?
I like that Sara covered those AI frameworks as something comprehensible, yes? Because when I think about AI frameworks, I think about people with different skills, technical people that are able to build platforms, build those models, put those models into production, but also domain experts that understand data science, machine learning, so they can find very relevant use cases in their daily operation, let's say. So we have people that's like, of course, like very important pillar, and we will talk more about it. Then there's the process. So you need to clearly define, like, what is how you define new projects, yes, how you measure whether they are fulfilling the KPIs, yes. Then you have need to have a clear structure and a flow, how to put those models into production and how to maintain them. And there are different people involved in this process. So like responsibilities needs to be clearly defined, and accountability needs to be clear. So we have the process. Then third, platform. So that's my, let's say, main interest. So you need to have good technical tools and platforms that can handle those different use cases. And the third one is responsible AI and evaluation. And we'll also, again, talk more about it because like responsible AI principles have to be built into those AI frameworks. And I think also it's worth to mention why AI frameworks are important. You also already mentioned that, Eva, that 13% of POCs never reach to production. I've heard about Gartner saying that even 50% of data science projects never reach to production. And the reasons are like poor skill set. Data scientists usually do not want to do that because these are like MLOps, DevOps part of the work. Then KPIs or the goal of the projects are not clearly defined, and etc. So that's what AI frameworks usually should solve.
Right. And Agnieszka, what would you add from your practical perspective? When you develop a project, such a framework, it consists of how many people? What does it mean in reality?
In fact, I think on top of that, what Sara and Agnieszka mentioned, I would add from our Orange experience some additional aspects related to the fact that there is no one way which fits all. I mean, we are developing AI-based projects in different ways. So we have different frameworks, in fact, which we are using. Because, of course, we have this one which is purely regulated. We have platform. It should be secure, compliant, and so on and so on. We are focusing a lot of effort also on reskilling and upskilling, of course, our people and teams. Important aspect is democratization. So, in fact, to give to all people in the company, both from business and from IT, the opportunity to experiment a little bit. That's why, on top of organized, structured programs, we have also additional initiatives, like, for example, innovation waves, when we are collecting the people from different departments and we are giving them the topics. For example, last wave was purely about B2C. So how we may use artificial intelligence to create better offers from our customers, stuff like that. So we are building this kind of programs, inviting people, and they are working on specific use cases. We have also different initiatives, like, for example, focusing on planning, how to use ML to forecast, to create some different initiatives. And so we are trying to gather people not only in one specific, under one specific framework, but also try to create other environment, other spaces to make them grow, to focus on some specific initiatives.
So yeah, we have prepared 5 areas of discussion for today, but I see that they are all really overlapping. So while talking, we already touched, I would say, 5 of them. I will still try to keep the structure. We have used this term of democratization, that AI, so when we think about the whole digital transformation that's been with us for already, whatever, like 15 years, we've always said in IDC that it requires democratization. So IT goes beyond IT department. We need to involve strategically all business lines to deliver the value. But honestly, it hasn't progressed much. It has changed a lot. Still, IT departments are set aside in many companies, especially smaller companies. But when we think about implementing AI projects, they really require democratization. Definitely. What does it mean for the organization? Anna, you have recently launched a big project. You will talk about this later, not now. But if you could tell how this democratization works from your perspective in BNP Paribas Bank.
Yes, for us, democratizing AI means making available all advanced analytics tools and all data-driven insights to the whole company, to the whole stakeholders, not just to a limited group of IT experts, data science experts. So for us, it's making these tools available in order to really unlock this potential of data, because AI is about data. I see how we change our perception when it comes to data, thanks to AI also. So democratizing AI means making available, but it's just, it's a mission, to make them available. But what's really extremely important in order to really democratize AI is education. So education, and once again education. And here, for different groups of employees, we need to have slightly different education. So for more technical people, for data scientists, we have programs that are very technical in order to increase their skills in Gen AI, in classical methods of AI. But for business, it's not about to dig deeper into some technical issues, but there are different topics and challenges they need to understand, like data privacy, like what can do AI and what can simple spreadsheet, Excel sheet. So what are the difference? Why we actually need AI to solve very simple use case? Maybe we don't need to. What are the possibilities, but also what are the risks? And so for business, basic knowledge, definitely. But for the whole company, also some basics. So once again, privacy, risk. We are working in banks, so we need to really make sure that all data are safe. We based on these data, we make decisions that are unbiased. So all this stuff.
Okay, we'll go back to that, but I would like to go a step earlier. So when we think about democratization within the company, it's about the whole decision process behind launching the project that allows us to make sure that we don't miss anything, that it's unbiased, that it's really integrating the company. And one of you would like to add how you see this democratization, like going across all the silos?
Yeah, definitely. I think that the most important part is just that to have this synergy, you need to combine different competencies and different skill sets. And it's all about that kind of the diversity. To create better and different ideas, you need to have people with the different backgrounds. So men, women, people from tech, people from business, and then you can build on that. So that's the most important part in terms of democratization. And of course, behind that, what is super important, you need to give the people the space and the safe environment to experiment, to do the things, to do the new things, to try the new things, and give them a bit of support, technological support, to be able really to grow.
I think that a lot has been said already, but I can just give an example of one of the assets that we are building for our customers, and it's like improving data democratization, which is like I would say step back towards AI democratization. And actually this asset, we are able to build it because Gen AI hype started and we got those incredible LLMs, large language models. And the tool is natural language to SQL. So when you want to basically do something with data, usually you need to know SQL. So you need to know how to write those selects, queries, and etc. That's not difficult, but of course, you do not need to know how to do that if you work as a domain expert. So right now, actually, you can ask the question in natural language, like what was the revenue in April for like certain, I don't know, part of the company, let's say, and then it would create an SQL for you, and it would run this SQL against your database. So at the end, you are able to talk with your data. So now data are more accessible to everyone. So if you have some kind of ideas, and you do not need to go to your data engineer, you do not need to go to your BI engineer that you would like to get the dashboard that visualize something. You can just simply ask a question, and then you get the answer, and also quite nice visualization. So I think it's a really nice asset that can support such democratization.
Okay, so let's go to the next. I think what's really important for all of us to understand what AI project really means. If only 13% of POCs go into production, we already know that it's difficult. We require the framework, we require certain skills. But once they are already successful, I would like you to tell the audience what it meant, what was the goal, and how you achieved that, and what was amazing with this new technology that make it happen. Anya, you just recently launched that one, so if you could tell us about your project.
Yes, so recently we've indeed implemented a behavioral model. Complex stuff, but I will explain in a while what is exactly. So behavioral model with Synrise in cooperation with the vendor, and this base model AI, this is foundational model that helps us, on the one hand, reduce time to market of building new AI models. So our data scientists can bring model easier and quicker than in the past. That's one.
How faster? Tell us the number.
It's around 2 times faster. So it's pretty significant reduction of our capacity and our workload. So first thing is time to market, which is now better optimized. But for customers, thanks to this behavioral model, we right now are able to offer very personalized offering at the right time. So thanks to this data-driven insights, so from raw data, I said data, so from raw data, we transform this raw data into data-driven profiles. Based on these profiles, we get insights about our customers, and thanks to this, we were able to offer personalized offerings. So for customers, AI creates the environment where the customer has his own bank, I would say. So for each customer, we can prepare something really aligned with their needs and timely communicated.
So you see that if someone spends more on children's stuff, they might need a mortgage, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Sarah, you have some really amazing examples from the research area, right, for Bayer?
Yeah, we have different ones. And I mean, you were talking about the different areas of AI. So when we're looking into the more classical area, such as machine learning or neural networks, we're doing AI since decades at Bayer. And one example I can give you is automating research in crop science as an example. So in the past, researchers had to look at plants and see whether there are effects on plants. What we're doing now is they are running through autonomous machines. Images are being taken with normal RGB cameras, such as you have in your cell phone, but also with other sensors. So we can actually see, and we call that mode of actions, so that a molecule is working on a plant in a certain way. Earlier, faster, but we also see different effects which we haven't seen before. So we always see, I can spy with my little eyes something, I cannot see in reality. And this really increases the possibility to create values for our farmers and really drive the mission forward there. Another example in Gen AI is, we rolled out our internal tool, MyGenesis, to 100,000 employees now. And when we see there, and this is really going into the democratization and what kind of vision you have on AI, right? We see there that by rolling it out and empowering the people to use it according to our guidelines and rules, 80% of the people using the tool report back a 2-digit % number of more efficiency. But in addition, they also say they find information faster, or sometimes information which they didn't have before, because they can collaborate in a different way. So you see those different stages from automating research, creating digital data there, ingesting it in Gen AI is really like a ladder on building the future and how the future can look like.
So we talk about responsible future as well, that AI helps us to predict a lot, especially when we talk about crops, how we observe the plants, and in the result we have a better quality medicaments, I would say, right? But we also thought, we had the part of this, whether AI can help us bring more sustainable future. Agnieszka, you looked for, both of you. Yeah, some sustainable projects that AI can actually help us grow?
I think that there is a lot of such initiatives, because here we might think about new medicines. I mean, building machine learning models around it, trying to predict how the future may look like and how to treat some diseases. Then we may think about the crisis management, so the situation, how to plan the remedy action for the future. I think we may even analyze some initiatives, like, for example, the languages which disappear, and try to build upon of that. There is a lot of going on right now on the market, so we may really pick and choose. I have heard about one pretty amazing initiatives, Nano Church, which has been created in Poznań in Poland. So you have basically the mobile application you may enter, and with the usage of GenAI, you can get additional soul support. So this is also under analysis. But I think it's also important when we are discussing about social impact to have this perspective in your mind, because basically with OpenAI, what is happening right now, that they change structure, they are refocusing from this non-profit organization into more business-oriented. So I think that, it will be very easy in the future for the businesses to use this kind of technology to create business-oriented models. But we should also focus on these open models, which will be available for our society, on top of which we may build something what will be good and beneficial for all of us. I think it's super important.
I think that I'm looking forward to AI in medicine and healthcare. I also had this example of crop health in mind, because we are in Bayer office right now. So, drug discovery and crop health, that is extremely important. But I think that, like, for me personally, using AI in medicine and helping doctors to better screen against different diseases, that's something that I think that will be extremely cool when we get there. And and I think that we also need to think how to do that responsibly.
Okay, we will be there. But as I mentioned in the beginning, there are certain issues that slow down the implementation of AI projects. And one of them is absolutely the skill gap, IT skill gap. So, Žirūnė, I would like you to join us from Lithuania, but this is something that you address in your research. And if you could tell us how you see this skill gap, what you see on the market, not only regarding women participation in technology, but generally speaking about IT skills that are missing.
Thank you very much. And it's very interesting to learn of various projects that have been mentioned here. And I would say it's very unique, what you were sharing. Very unique that you have trainings and you have various engaged programs, including all of the employees within the companies. Because at Women Go Tech last year and this year, we ran a couple of the researches, one on the gaps in the for women to enter tech and also for women to use AI. We wanted to learn why women are not using certain technologies. And we learned different things, what in some cases were surprising to Women Go Tech as well. So there are lots of articles and various discussions publicly that women might be less interested in using AI. And we questioned over 5,000 women in Central and Eastern Europe, and we also talked with over 20 experts in AI. And what we learned, that 68% of women actually tried at least one AI tool. 87%, which is the best result, was in Poland. So the women showed very high interest in technology. Would that be for personal use? Would that be for semi-professional use? But what we also learned, that 12% of the respondents mentioned that their employers have policies on AI usage within the company, and only 8% of the respondents told us that they have clear guidelines on what they can and what they cannot use within the company. So it's very clear that if there is a high interest and there is a big interest, however, the trainings and the recommendations and the guidelines have to be received from somewhere else. And this is one of the things that Women Go Tech noticed and wants to address, working both with the companies that are willing to attract more tech talent and always comes to us asking, what can we do better? To look into the potential to add extra talent, because what I picked from the discussions even today, that in order to create larger, more impactful projects, more successful projects, we need diverse audience, we need diverse groups, we need diverse in gender, diverse in thinking, diverse in experience, in age, and in order to attract those talents, we have to think differently. Women. What they are afraid of and what they told us, what they are afraid of when it comes to new technologies, when it comes to jumping into tech, is of course the fear of failure, of course the stereotypes. Unfortunately, I'm for more than a decade already in the industry. However, we still have stereotypes of what is a woman's job to do, what is not. When it comes to AI, it has a sense of cheating and not knowing and not doing it yourself. So women tend to play more by the rules, which that means it's our responsibility of employers, of the tech companies, to explain the rules and to engage and to support them in the journey. We have tried various programs, not even talking about the AI, on what helps women to reskill, what helps women to get interested. And it is a different narrative that we have to pay attention to. With various technologies that we have right now, we have lower code, we have lower possibilities of big barriers for them to enter tech. That means we can create many different opportunities that were not present before for women to try out, and it requires not only education, it requires lots of mentorship, it requires different narrative publicly, different within the organizations, different role models for us to have a more diverse talent in tech.
Thank you. It's really interesting because we had a lot of discussion before the panel about that. What makes women less eager to adopt these new technologies? And these key findings that we also had discussed earlier, that women are somehow more obedient. And if something is forbidden or there are no clear rules, they would rather not test it. Or the other issue that was found out in number of research, that we need this inclusive environment and we need the encouragement, and because we need to know, we need to feel that we really understand and we know we are not that we will not risk going in front if we're not 100% sure that we understand everything around that. So how do you build in your IT organization, Agnieszka, this inclusive environment? And I'm not talking only about maybe women now, but generally within this democratic environment where you need different perspectives, different data, different views. How do you encourage people that might not have IT skills to join the projects?
I think that I'm a great example of it, because right now I work in IT, but my background is completely different. I finish economy and law. It means that technology is for everybody. There is no barriers. The barriers are just in our heads. I think that through upskilling, reskilling, and this curiosity, which is, I think, the most important right now nowadays, you are able to do much more things than you initially thought you are able to do. And within my IT environment, I'm just trying to create, an open environment for everybody. And also, this is what at Orange we are doing. So we are inviting everybody to participate. This is all about democratization, that you are not creating the barriers that only IT people are able to join the teams or only people from specific business part, because we believe that ideas have no sex, have no barriers, and I think it's super important. We are also focusing much on younger generation right now, because we have this kind of additional initiatives, like, for example, high-tech girls. When we are organizing the event, inviting younger girls who are currently studying, giving them the challenge, and then inviting them to work and to cooperate at Orange. I think it creates this kind of the link in between, different environments, and create this kind of the opportunities for women to join this IT circle.
That's another thing that came in our IDC predictions for 2025 and onwards to help somehow within this IT skill gap, is that IT teams will have to go outside of IT and look for talents among legal departments, accounting departments, anyone who is eager to learn the new technology or already knows something and can easily be transmitted to the IT team. Is one of these strategies that we see that are already happening. And Sara, you have a very good example. In Bayer, you have 12,000 community around AI and technology. Could you tell us how you grow this community and how you actually extract talents from them?
Yeah, sure. So when we started last year, the community, and this is showing in a Teams community, right, kind of started as a grassroots initiative. So people created that on their own, and it was like slowly growing also until I would say end of last year, when we said, okay, we are now rolling out our internal MyGenesis tool to all employees. We need to grow the community in a strategic way. And I fully echo what you just said, that it needs guardrails and people need to understand what you can do. And also the social learning aspect is, I think, very important. So strategically, we created, on the one side, communication plans, but also people communicating in the community about what they're doing, showcasing what they're doing. And you will see that, as an example, people giving an example from research, that people from finance will answer and say, you know what, I had the same issue. And they're no IT people. So they're from totally different areas. They have totally different capabilities, but they are now capable of understanding we have, in an abstract way, the same problem we are solving. And they start to collaborate in those, like we have different channels for all our different tools, for different use cases, for different hot topics. And by connecting them, it's really like this social learning, sharing aspect, which really empowers people to go beyond borders. And by the way, me personally, I also react allergically to saying it's IT or business, because I believe in the future we just have the same goal. Like, we are working on the same, and clustering it into IT and business is kind of like the first thing of creating a barrier, I guess. So for us in the community, it's just people working on a topic to drive our mission.
Right. So I think that within such communities, that's what also Agnieszka mentioned, you are also open for more innovation projects, right? You bring people into the table so they can participate in this innovative development. And maybe this is one of the other areas where we can help people grow and also grow the company. I think more and more companies do the open contests for innovation, even using Gen AI or AI, but this also helps to grow projects that were unseen as people were not involved. And again, we go back to democratization, IT skills, and some other. All right, I look consciously at the clock, and there is one more topic that I really wanted to raise, is responsible AI. We talk a lot about ethics. We talk especially in Europe, which is well regulated, and all the technology projects are being thoroughly watched by the European Commission. And what we can really make, or how we can assure that all these projects do not bring harm to the society. Agnieszka, I know that you work a lot on this ethical part of AI. If you could explain what it means, not only in the regard of AI Act that was recently implemented, in European Union in August, right?
August this year. I'm happy that still we have some time to cover responsible AI and EU AI Act, and it's important to say why it is important. Yes, AI is influencing our life. We outsource part of our daily operation to AI, so we need to be sure that we can trust it, that it is safe, and it doesn't manipulate us. Yes, so that's why we have responsible AI, and responsible AI actually is a set of principles that you should use as an organization or as a provider of AI system to build, deploy, and maintain those AI system. And these principles are accountability. So it has to be clear in the process who is the owner of this AI system, who is building that, yes, who is responsible for different parts of the process. Then there's accuracy. You need to be sure that the product that you are releasing has high accuracy. It is tested. Then is human oversight. Then there's robustness, security. So there are like, let's say, 8 principles. And then EU AI Act, which is really, I think, the first AI law regulating AI that was released in August 2024, is actually, it embodies all of those principles. Yes, so it's comprehensive framework, more extraterritorial. So it doesn't matter whether you are building something in the US and then selling your product in the EU. You still need to comply with EU AI Act. Eva, should I cover something else?
I'm more interested. It's important how we really watch in Europe to protect the rights, right? And it's a number of rights, the citizen rights, how we try to make sure that all the projects are being implemented in the transparent way. So maybe you have some practical experience from your project that you recently launched or implemented, Anna, that really required this thinking.
Yes, I think we need to emphasize one thing, because AI Act gives us framework. So it's a framework. It's just a framework. We need to align this framework locally with our goals, our business goals, with understanding. And I would like to underline what we believe, that AI model is just one component. Then there is a human component. So human in the loop is this factor that secures us that the end-to-end process is safe, is fair, and is objective. So it's not that AI will do all work for us. It's that the end-to-end process needs human to cover this more soft skills and needs.
I think it's also important what kind of initiatives we are building around AI, because, for example, deepfakes. There is a lot of, I think, initiatives or projects which should be also where we should put our focus to, for example, related with the misinformation. So it's also about investing in business-oriented projects, which brings us value and money, commercially speaking, but also to invest money into safe AI. I think it's super important. And maybe another aspect is related with the energy consumption, because it all costs money, but it's very, it's based on the energy. So it has also this ecological aspects, which we should also take into consideration while talking and having discussion about AI and the future of AI.
Anything to add? Oh, like one sentence, please.
One sentence. Maybe I will say that that citizen is in the center of EU AI Act. So it's just to make sure that AI is safe for us. But a lot of implications are coming for organizations. Yes, they need to, let's say, know what kind of models are running in their, let's say, what kind of risk they have. So actually, that's good for citizens, but for the organizations, there's like a lot to be done, I would say.
Okay, we're running out of time. So at the end, I just ask all of you to say one thing that amazed you or scared you within the projects you were witnessing concerning AI. Something that was really jaw-dropping, either positive or negative. Quickly, Anna.
For me, the pace we are advancing with Gen AI.
Sarah.
How much value we can bring and how big the jumps are from now on, because I think no one can imagine exponential growth, and that's what we're in currently.
I've been working with Gen AI and LLMs for 2 years, and I'm still impressed how that works, actually.
For me, it's just the sea of the opportunities. And this is something what I really love behind artificial intelligence.
Girona, your part. Do we have voice?
Yes, we have. Sorry, I was on mute. For me, it is the hunger of knowledge. We just launched AI Foundations program to everyone. It was over 10,000 participants who registered. So I think there is a very big curiosity that we can build on.
Okay, thank you very much. I think we covered what we needed, but still there is so much to say. Thank you a lot for sharing your knowledge and experience.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Eva.